So now we have to start thinking about our emergence into the galactic community. Long ago, I believe a level 2 or type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale, I think it's called. I believe they assembled our sun. They arranged the solar system, and they modified the biosphere on this planet, all for our development, okay, as a new intelligent species. So this is our yolk sac, and we have to act now to protect it because it's in danger. So we as a civilization are in our infancy, our very infancy. And I want to read you 3 paragraphs from an article, a book review in the Wall Street Journal about piracy, because this describes our political and our financial system very well, right up to the present day. It's pretty much how it works. Piracy became entrenched almost from the day the Americas were colonized by the European powers in the late 15th century. The rival courts of England, Spain, France, and Holland were perpetually at war with one another, and parceling up the riches of the New World became an extension of their continental conflicts. England was particularly envious of the lucrative system developed by Spain for returning gold and silver to the mother country after the Spanish plundered the Aztec and Incan empires in 1521 and 1532. In the late 1570s, Queen Elizabeth of England addressed this royal income inequality by putting her government in the business of grand theft, secretly commissioning explorer Francis Drake to attack Spanish ships and settlements along the South American coast. In the next century, another famous sea captain, Henry Morgan, was turned loose on the Spanish possessions by the British colonial governor of Jamaica. These arrangements were sealed under the guise of letters of marque, essentially a royal license to assault and rob foreign vessels. This practice was common at the time and given legitimacy by calling the robber ship captains privateers. But as Mr. Dolan notes, the distinction between officially sanctioned plundering and outright piracy was frequently blurred. Operators like Morgan and Drake were hailed as national heroes, knighted, and allowed to keep hefty shares of the gold bullion and coins they had seized from the Spaniards. These privateering expeditions were massive efforts. In one 1671 raid, Morgan commanded a fleet of 50 ships and almost 2,000 sailors. Periodically, rivals like England and Spain would officially kiss and make up, promising to respect each other's ports and shipping rights, but such truces left thousands of seafaring thieves suddenly unemployed. Thousands more were idled when European armies and navies demobilized after wars. Not surprisingly, the privateers simply continue their old ways, now as freelancers. The governments of Europe, in short, had provided the on-the-job training for the pirates they later condemned as scoundrels. All right, so That's going on today with private military contractors. They have absconded with we don't even know how much money. So let's think about the current economic model. I'm calling it the 1947 Legacy Majestic Ultranational model of development. This leads to catastrophic failure of the eco-fabric. This is diagrammed in the Krasnodar crop formation. I can show you that here. There is a depiction here of a deteriorating fabric. Okay, it looks like a tattered rag. And that was the ETs graphically describing to us the disintegration of our eco-fabric. Now, I'm not an environmental scientist, but if you look around and you start Googling things, the bats are dying, the frogs are dying, okay, all kinds of different species of frogs and bats are dying, bird species are dying. Species in the oceans are dying. There's been a massive plankton die-off. I believe almost 40% of the plankton is gone. And that makes our atmosphere, in case you didn't know that. A big chunk of our atmosphere is manufactured by the plankton. In the state where I live, in the state of Colorado, all the pine trees are dying. Okay, and the aspen trees are dying. So these are microsystems in the eco-fabric, and they're all starting to go haywire. And this is going to continue if we don't do anything. Okay, now the advanced physics being withheld from us, the transdimensional and scalar technologies, if weaponized by opponents with technological parity, such as Russia and the United States, this can lead to war without aftermath. Okay? These are much more powerful than the nuclear weapons. Or, on the flip side, these technologies could be used for peaceful purposes. Do not monetize or commercialize them. They'll yield infinite supply. That equals post-money economy. That equals total freedom. So, in considering these matters, you can do visualization drills. So let's visualize the bad side, perhaps the majestic junta, if they do carry out this fake alien invasion. One scenario is they quote-unquote let the aliens win, right? And these fake aliens, they would install an occupation government like you saw by Japan in the Philippines during World War II, or perhaps by Germany and France during World War II. But actually this would be controlled by the members of Majestic, this fake occupation government upon the earth, right? Run by the fake aliens, actually controlled by Majestic, And then they could carry out monstrous Nazi-style policies such as depopulate the African continent, let's say, or ignite the Yellowstone caldera, which would destroy North America, and then blame it all on the aliens, right? You blame those monstrosities on the occupiers. Okay, so that's a bad visualization drill. On the other hand, if you take these advanced physics and use them for good, let's list some of the benefits here. Medical technology right out of Star Trek, and that's not an exaggeration. Free energy, of course. The end of money, the end of conflict of interest. You can materialize useful machines and objects and items, such as food and clothing and buildings and housing and computers and vehicles, transportation. You can dematerialize, for instance, pollution. All right? On a large scale, we could use these advanced technologies to fix the incredible mess we have made. All right? Knowledge transfer. This would so far surpass our current educational system, it would look like magic. Okay? Of course, faster than light transportation anywhere in the galaxy. We can populate new worlds, and ultimately we can telepathically participate in and sense the universal mind. This will be one of our most glorious achievements as a growing civilization. So, currently the situation is security actually equals relinquishing conquest. Security is making competition obsolete. We have to unlock this Japanese puzzle box of money. We have to disentangle ourselves from conflict of interest and gamification. Those are really complex things that'll take some very smart people a long time to figure out how to do it. But I think free energy is a perfectly good place to start. If you want to do this step by step in a piecemeal fashion, free energy is a good place to begin.